Fix my camera there for YouTube here. Okay, I'm apparently live now on YouTube as well. Although my camera doesn't seem to have found me, so that's always fun. Let's just adjust. I don't love that. Okay. All right, my YouTube camera has not found me, but I'm on YouTube now. There we go. Now it's finding me. Was crying when Lynn scored. That was an amazing moment. Yes. Can we move on from Haran before next World Cup? So we can talk about Haran a little bit, but I think we can talk about the positive moments here too. Like, look, Haran didn't have a great game. That's what it was. And then everybody on YouTube wants to talk about Canada beating France. Canada probably through. No, Canada's not through because Canada's got the 6-point deduction still. Canada still has 0 points. So, I don't see, it's possible. Like, I think that their third placers may end up with 3 points. That's kind of wild, but let's see. The Haran slander is insane. Sorry. Yeah, look, it's not her game again today for me. Like, I think there were some moments, but like the general Haran haters, it's like, it's a little excessive. Am I the only one wanting Canada to get grouped? No, I would like Canada to get grouped too. Did Robin get injured at the end? I didn't think it was a serious injury. I think it was just a knock. Mal is so key to our attack. Holy cow. I don't disagree with that at all. Mal is great. Okay, let's see. Nice water balling out at the end, low key. Don't disagree there either. On YouTube, if they beat Colombia, they have 3. If we beat Australia, they're ahead of them and go through in third. Yeah, but like, we'll see. A lot of things can happen. Yeah, the Australia-Zambia game was 6-5. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch that. It's a fun one. Why did she take so long to sub? I think, honestly, because it was so tense. I thought it was pretty tense. For 3-1, it felt tense. Did it feel tense to y'all? And I'm not really sure. Sometimes in that situation, a sub will shore you up, and sometimes in that situation, a sub breaks the stuff, and then you don't have a good go. Emily, thank you for the rose. Emily, I didn't know there were Emily Fox haters, but if you were an Emily Fox hater, I don't know how you watched this and thought she did a bad job. She was fantastic. Emily Fox's 1v1 defending was on full, show today. Yeah, extremely tense, even though dominant. Don't disagree. Might just be coffee looked better in the second half. I don't disagree with that. I thought she had a better second half. But that's also because I think Lindsay was told, drop back in a little more. Did she do it? Not always. Because there's that moment where Rose Lavelle was like, hey, I'm going to chase the ball back. You don't seem to want to do it. That wasn't good. But otherwise, like, Lindsay sat back a little more, which was good. Dunn, player of the match. I thought Dunn had a good game, but also some nervy moments. But she had kind of a taller task. Trin's work rate is underrated. Trin's work rate is insane. Let's see. Different starters for Australia? Who? Other than Courtney Vine? Like, that the depth isn't really... I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do here. Australia to advance thoughts. I think they can still get out. So, but I think they, and we don't have, like, we're clinched already. And so I don't know, like, from my perspective, if there's a better or worse matchup, like, getting out of this group. Like, I think all the matchups are pretty hard, so you just want to get out. So do we rest? Do we rotate? And then Australia has a shot? Maybe. I don't know. So we got out of the group. I know. We got out of the group. We're all happy. We got out of the group. Do you think we're beating Australia? I don't know. We could rotate and rest. I don't disagree. Let's see. What do you think about them saying that the easier team? I think you were asking about the second place thing. I just don't think there are easy teams. Like, there is not a single team here that's going to advance where I'm like, yeah, I'd play them. Other than if Australia gets out of our group. That's the only team where I'd be like, gimme. And we might not beat Australia next week, but if that happens, it's not because of us. It's because, like, we're going to rotate, right? So, yeah, there's no team here that I'm, like, looking forward to seeing in a matchup. Every single team that is in a position to advance is going to be a challenge. Is Spain gassing out? I think Spain looks beatable. But Spain could also just be growing into the tournament. We'll see. Why did Emma take so long with subs? I think it was really just the tension of the game. I think that made everybody a little nervous. Like, your attack was still doing a pretty good job, so you didn't really want to move them off. The people that looked tired were more in the defense, and the defense, it was all so tenuous that, like, you don't really want to have to swap somebody else from the back line or from that midfield formation once you've already put in Emily Sonnet, if it's that kind of tension. So, I think, putting Lynn in at some point was the right call. Obviously, that worked out. And then once we got the other goal, it was like, okay, we'll sub in whoever. Yeah, Canada won, which was weird. Highlight for me, I mean, shit, man, there's so many highlights. I thought they all just were incredible. I mean, I think Trin is just getting so confident in a way that's really fun. Mal Swanson does a beautiful job opening up the attack. Sophia Smith is feeling good. I thought Rose Lavelle is finally finding a way to really click with this attack. It's not as flashy and it's not doing the same things as like I think we're used to her doing, but she seems to be kind of adapting to the rest of it, which has been good. And I want to I know she got injured and we didn't get to see her finish it out, but Tina Davidson was putting on a clinic earlier. So, and Fox was also putting on a clinic. Fox was really good. Thoughts on Nicewanger? I thought Nicewanger for the few minutes she was in was great. The idea of her subbing in any earlier scared the shit out of me. So, I think they would have had a field day attacking her. Germany would have. If Shaw isn't available for next game, will we call in a different alternate? No, I don't think so. But, you know, I'm curious to see who comes in if Tierna's out. Because my pick would be Hal Hirschfeld. But, I don't know. Yes, we're guaranteed out of the group now. We're out. Let's see. Seems like France has injuries. Well, I mean, that's the thing with France. You know, I've said this in pretty much every preview I've done of this tournament, is that France has the strongest starting 11 in the tournament. Not close. The drop-off from the starting 11 to the next people on the bench is rough. So it's really all been about, like, how can you keep that starting 11 healthy and going and manage them when you need them? That was always going to be their task. Because if they can do that, they can win this thing. If they can't do that, they're going to have a bad time fast because they just don't have any depth. Let's see. Do we have any other center backs besides Sonnet? Not really. Casey Kruger could do it. You know, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Emily Sonnet. I thought Emily Sonnet was fine. Like, again, you know, there were moments that were some of them not my favorite, and it's not my favorite Emily Sonnet use case. I like her coming in and doing a double pivot and creating chaos. But yeah, I still think she did. I think does a fine job here. Let's see. Interesting that Jenna came in for Trin instead of it for Dunn. Yeah, I think they're just trying to get Jenna some minutes, frankly. And then Trin ended up. I think maybe she was going to come in for Dunn, but then Trin, you know, got a little knock there. I think Corbin should have gone in for Haran. No, I don't think anybody. Like, listen, I understand that Haran was not having the best game. I'm with y'all there. But once Tierna Davidson came off, you could not sub Haran out because otherwise you have no height. Like, we are actually a pretty undersized team right now. And, like, you're going up against Germany, and they're a big aerial threat. Like, you got to have somebody of size in there. So I really don't think that, like, and I'm not even sure Haran would have been that much of an upgrade I don't think Corbin would have necessarily been an upgrade. See, Lavelle playing a full 90. I know. Let's do a cheers for that. That's great. Lynn is tall. Lynn is not short. I think Lynn's like 5'8". So, you know. Let's see. Emma seems to really like Emily Sonnet. I mean, I think personally everybody likes Emily Sonnet. Like, she seems fun. But yeah, I mean, she's been playing well with Gotham at center back, I think, is a general thing. Let's see. Is the USA backline really solid or really helped by mid and forwards? I think the backline is pretty good as a general matter. I think we have one of the stronger backlines in the tournament. So, yeah. Weird to say, but U.S. Soccer is deeply investing in this team, and I love it. It's great. It's fun to see. You get a good big coaching hire, and, like, things look different, which is really nice. Did I watch any other events today? No, which is a bummer because I really love swimming. I like watching the swimming. I like swimming. I like diving. Like, all the aquatic stuff is just really, like, my wheelhouse. I love watching all that. So that's been a bummer. I'll have to go back and watch. This game was built for Fox, and Fox looked good. Fox looked good. Any hope for a 3-back without Tierna? There is no 3-back this tournament. There is no 3-back this tournament. I mean, like, there could be, but I would not advise it. I don't see it. Have I watched any Summer Cup? A little bit. It's been hard. There's just a lot of sports. Let's see. Missed all the other games. Can you do a quick recap? Sure. So Colombia beat New Zealand 2-0. I didn't really get to watch much of that one because I was watching Brazil-Japan pretty closely. Brazil went up 1-0, and kind of against the run of play. I think Japan had most of the run. Japan ended up winning 2-1. They got a penalty that was, they missed a penalty earlier in the game in the first half. Second half, they get a penalty. And then the second goal scored by Moko Tanakawa, who is just like an absolute rising star. She didn't play it all in the match against Spain, and she's a difference maker, so she needs to start for here on out for Japan. She's just great. Very young, though. She had a really good U19 World Cup, and she's showing off. She's really good. Brazil, for some reason, swapped out most of the midfield they had last match. I'm not really sure what they were doing there, but that was a bit bizarre. And then, of course, Australia-Zambia. If you missed Australia-Zambia, go back and watch Australia-Zambia. It was the craziest game I think I've ever seen. 6-5. Australia at one point was down 5-3. So it's like it was just chaos. So go back and watch that. It was that's why we always bet the over. And then Spain won 1-0 over Nigeria. Nigeria was pretty close. That's another one I didn't get to watch super closely because I was very caught up in the madness of Australia-Zambia. And then obviously we won 4-1, which is great, over Germany. And then the other game ended with a 2-1 win for Canada coming back against France. And they have to win out to have any shot at getting out of the group. Okay, let's see. Thoughts on her and coffee today? Not their strongest, but I think especially for coffee, really asked to do something that was going to be always challenging here. I flagged it. A lot of analysts flagged it that like Germany was going to really attack that space where coffee is, and that a double pivot might be a good idea. So it was just a lot for one player to take on. Let's see. Could the US beat Spain? Yes, I think we could beat Spain. Let's see. What would I grade this match out of a 10? I think it's an 8 or a 9. It was a very strong performance. There's not a lot to complain about here. Thought Rose was dynamic today. Completely agree. Can I recap France's game? I didn't see it. I was watching this one. They lost to Canada 2-1. So, and it sounds like they had some injury trouble. And if that's the case, that doesn't really surprise me that they lost because they just have a very strong drop off from the starting 11 to their bench players. Let's see. How do I think the next game against Australia will go? It really depends what we want to do here. We have clinched. Like, we are out of the group. So, do we want to still go out strong and, like, make sure we win the group? That's one thing. Do we say we're already out of the group and we don't really care what position we're in? Let's, like, give people some rest and rotate. Then I don't know what happens. And I think there's a chance we do that. My personal opinion on it is there's no, like, better matchup when you get out of the group. Every single team that still stands to exit their group is very good and is going to pose a challenge for you. So I don't, that all being said, like, I don't really care who we play. So let's rest and rotate and try some other stuff. Let's see. Well, if we don't win the group, we might end up playing Canada in the first round of the knockout. Okay. Like, Canada doesn't scare me any more than anybody else, even if they got our drone footage, but we're used to having drone footage. I mean, like, the teams getting out of the group at this point that, like, so we won't play anybody in our own group, right? So then it's like, I mean, do you like a matchup more against some of these other teams? Like, maybe, but not markedly so. I mean, I think France, Colombia, and then maybe Canada get out of, Group A. Group B is going to have Spain, Brazil, or it's Japan. Sorry, it's Japan, like more likely Japan. It's like Spain and Japan are getting out of that group. I don't want to play either of them. And then it's like Brazil or Nigeria. I don't love either of those matchups, so probably Brazil. Is the one getting out. So, yeah. It's just like USA versus Spain who wins. I like us right now. I genuinely do. I think Spain looks very beatable. So, Germany was exploiting our left side heavily. Completely agree. That's why it scared me very much that they might sub in Jenna Neiswanger. Who, again, I like Jenna Neiswanger. I just think she's a little weak defensively. Let's see. If Shaw is still out, do we see Croy? I mean, I think you're going to keep seeing Croy on the bench, but for some reason, Emma Hayes has said that she doesn't think that Croy is ready for an Olympics debut. And again, I said this earlier, but like, why did you bring her? Like, don't bring people you don't think should be playing. That's a waste of space. So, not just said something about it being easier for the team. Yeah, but that's just, I'm sorry. Julie Foudy's talking out of her ass half the time. Well, no, I'm sorry. She's prepared. She's come up with some talking points. But, like, I just don't. No, it doesn't matter. Like, these are not going to be, because we have no idea actually how these other groups are going to finish out either. Like, you have a bad matchup either way. it's very strong teams. Like there are 3 teams here that are weaker than everybody else, and the rest of the teams are all quite good. So I just, it's not some kind of situation where it's like, if you advance in first place, like you play Spain, and if you advance in second place, you get to play New Zealand. Because then that would maybe make sense. But it's just not. So I think it's kind of a stupid talking point. I don't think it's accurate at all. The other teams are just too good. Julie Fadil is a free kick stat. Yeah, she's gotta let it go. She's gotta let it go. It's bad. I don't disagree, but like we had Kat Macario back, so what's the statistic? Foudy keeps bringing up about the direct free kick. Kind of annoying. I mean, we just haven't scored like on a direct free kick since 2022. But I mean, it makes sense. Kat Macario is kind of the person that does them well. Megan Rapinoe has historically been also a person who does them well, and like they're not here. So after today, would you say that U.S. women's national team are favorites for the gold? No, I mean I still think Spain's the favorite, but I do think like we look good. Like I like us in this. If you're gonna go out and bet now mid-tournament, I like us. Let's see. Demella does them well, sure. Yeah, I don't disagree there either. Lynn starting against Australia, maybe. I mean, I would rotate this bad boy. Maddie, thank you for the roses. I would rotate this. I would rotate because, like I said, I do not care who we play now that we're out of the group. I just don't care. Every single potential matchup is hard. So, and honestly, I'm pretty sure our backups can beat Australia. Just gonna say that. I'm pretty sure our suboptimal lineup will still beat Australia. Yeah. I'm like, Ultimate Gus, I'm sorry about losing your voice. But yeah, there was a lot of yelling in my household too. So, want to see Fox versus Rostock? Yeah, like why not? Let's see. Who would be the starters if we rotate? I mean, I think it depends on who's healthy and available. So I think Emma's happy with today. I don't know how you're like. I got that's a question on YouTube. What do you think Emma thinks about today? I think this was extremely positive. Because again, like this was not Germany from the match against Australia showed up. There was a question of whether we were going to get Germany from Euro qualifiers or we were going to get Germany from last World Cup, or are we going to get Germany that was in the Euro final 2 years ago. And the good Germany showed up. So we beat a very good team. In the parlance of the men's national team, it's a signature win. But it's, it was a really, really good result. So I think if you're Emma, if you're everybody, you're happy, you're building momentum. The team looks confident. We always play our best when we're confident. You're scoring and threatening from different ways. Are there still things to clean up? Like, of course, but like, given you've only had this coach for 6 weeks, you're doing pretty good. Can I see Sam's for Davidson possibly if she's out? You could do that. I don't think it's what I would do. I would put in Hal Hirschfeld because with Emily Sonnet moving into center back, you now have no depth really at the 6. And in theory, like you can move Casey Kruger over and play center back if you have to. So let's see. Love seeing continuously grow my feed into the offense. Yeah, that's great. Oh, what goal was my favorite? I don't know. I like them all. They were all pretty good. It's you can't pick a favorite in this situation. What's Australia's problem? I think they're tired. That's it. Do we still not know what's up with Shaw? I mean, we know it's a muscle tightness issue. That's all we really know. So, I set off my Furbo from hollering after Lynn scored. Incredible. That's so funny. It's like somebody's barking. If you don't have a Furbo, it's the dog camera, but that's great. Insane goal off the post has to be the favorite. That's fair. That's probably correct. Potential 5 back against Australia? No. Like, we're not trying to, like, hold a tie. Like I said, I don't think we either need to go into this and, like, care deeply or not care. I don't think we, like, and if we care deeply, like, Australia doesn't like to defend. I don't think you need a 5 back against them. Their attack isn't that threatening. Just go score a bunch of goals on them, and then, like, they'll be fine. So, let's see. Any word on Tierna's injury? Not yet. I have not seen it. Player of the game. I mean, it's hard to pick. I thought Emily Fox was fantastic. Trin for me was again lights out. Trin's just been very, very good. Let's see. What changes have you noticed with Emma at the helm? I think we're actually playing together in like a team. That was different. You know, when you look at last World Cup, part of what was so off with the tactics and part of what was such a struggle is these players were being left in isolated situations to try to make something happen. And here the players are now actually moving off of the ball in ways that really allow them to get creative and to utilize their speed. Part of what was nice about this German matchup and part of why this looked better is, you know, Germany played a very high line, which was it's a risky strategy against attackers that are as fast as ours are. So we really got to show off that skill set as well. So I think that's the nice part about what Emma Hayes is doing is that we now have a lot of different ways to make things move. Do I think Canada will make it through? No. But I don't know. Honest Haran review, I thought not our best match. You know, quite a few points here that were a struggle. You know, I think, but for the fact that you needed somebody with some size, I would have subbed her off. Do I think Croy will get playing time next game? No, I do not. Begrudgingly. Any subs you wish you'd see? I wish I'd seen Croy, but no, I have actually no. I have no criticism of the way that she handled the subs. I know a lot of people were like, we would like to see them earlier, but I just think it was really tense, really tight, and that makes you a little nervous when making subs. So, who's the long-term replacement for Haran after the Olympics? Lily Johanna is a begetter. I mean, I think we would benefit from a proper 8. Like, we need an actual box-to-box. Although I see Lily Johanna as not as a Haran replacement, but more as like the heir apparent to Sam Mewis. But I think other than the size thing, I think Corbin Albert has a lot of similarities with how Haran plays. So, let's see. I want Ashley Sanchez to be called up. Yeah, she's playing the best she's ever played. Where can we find Emma's press conferences? Usually on US Women's National Team YouTube. So let's see. How much better would Australia be with Kerr? I don't think that would solve anything for them. Okay. Let's see. Okay, can you please make a video on more playing styles and explain them? Yes, I absolutely can. Let's see. What's with the late subs? It was just a tension thing, I think was really what it was. You just didn't want to break that up. How long should I wait until I watch the match again? I watched the whole match. I mean, I would give it a couple hours before you watch again. Why should Haran be replaced? I mean, Haran's, you know, I think it's not that she should be replaced necessarily. I mean, I would have subbed her, like I said, this match I might have subbed her just because the touches were off. And the positioning was a little off. But she also had some really beautiful balls. But like longer term, I mean, I think people are just talking more generally as an age question. I think she's going to be on the cusp of whether she's still here for the 2027 World Cup. So we'll see how long she goes here. I think it's going to be a question of whether you're moving away from Haran. I think we're going to see some interesting decisions within the team for cycles and who we move away from and what we do after this tournament, just because between now and 2027, it's 3 years, there's not really any major competitions for the U.S., so you're better off doing developmental stuff for it. So I think you're actually going to see a lot of changes in who's involved. Will Nair make it? I think Nair could. You can make it much longer for goalkeepers. I thought Rose Lavelle was fantastic. Not playing, like doing a lot more of the passing, not the same like dribbling quite as much as we always see. AM 13 for 2027 just because of roster size? No, she's not going to last that long. Do I miss Alex Morgan? Yes and no. I don't think we need her. I think Lynn Williams is serving the purposes that we would have needed. And I also think Lynn Williams is just like a really fun substitute in for Sophia Smith. She's playing the 9 better than I think I appreciated that she could. She is kind of a nightmare to see coming at you at the 80th minute. So, yeah. Let's see. Dunn phased out due to age. I mean, I genuinely think, and I think most of the players that are on the wrong side of 30, as we call it, but solidly on the wrong side, like the 30, you might still go to the next one, right? But I think for the folks that are already like 32, 33, I don't like any of the odds of any of them playing much more with this national team. So would I keep Sonnet at center back? It's not my favorite place to play her, but if Tierna Davidson's injured, that's where she's going to be. Let's see, the Reese's ads cringe. Yeah, I know it's cringe, but you know what? Hey, for everybody who said Alex Morgan is at home, at least she got the money, right? Get that bag. That's all good. Emily Fox is underrated. Yeah. Emily Fox played great. Just fantastic. Why does Haran look so much better with Leon? They play a different style. It's looking better here with her. I think today was just an off match. Like, it's not, today was not a style issue for Haran. It was an off match, and it was a rough challenge in the midfield. Ali Sentinor call up? Yeah, coming. Ava Gattino, somebody asked me about. I think she just needs a little more time, but I think she's still on their radar. And long term is a really cool option for the U.S. Women's National Team. What's in the cup? It's coffee. I know, it's boring. It's coffee. See, it's still. I nurse one coffee. I'm one of those emotional support coffee people. I've had this coffee since like 9 a.m. So, yeah, Haran haters forget how great she was against Zambia. I know, but the Haran haters, it's like they're a dedicated group. The Haran haters are strong there. Do you think Sofia Horta could have helped us in this tournament? Not really. Not really. Probably should give another look, but this tournament, it's not really where I think our issues are. So, why was there 15 minutes of extra time in the Canada match? I do not know because I did not watch any of it. So, thoughts on Kruger starting next match? Why not? Like, who says no? Rotate, baby. Rotate. You're through to the next group. Rotate. So, Olivia Moultrie looks good again. Maybe we'll see her. I don't know. It's just a real bit of depth issue. Somebody asked about the Thompson sisters. I'm much higher on Giselle Thompson long term than I am on Alyssa. So, I think Giselle is we'll get time here. Because I also just think she has more versatility. Any of the U20 or U17s, I mean, I think that it's just going to be hard to watch. Because I think not hard to watch, but I think the players that are on those rosters that are generally doing well enough where we see them are at positions that, like, we have quite a bit of depth at already. So Germa talk, I mean, Germa was great. Naomi Germa was always great. I don't think I've ever come on here and said Naomi Germa did not have a good game. I don't think I've ever said it. She's just always good. Quarter kicks look better. Agreed. So, Canada extra time probably because of France's goalkeeper situation. That makes sense. Let's see. Barcenas I think is playing well as well. Do I think Germa will get rest? No. The back line is no. I think Naomi Germa is playing next game, even if we rotate. But you never know. You never know. So excited for this Mal era. It's fun to see Mal Swanson finally get, her time on a main stage like this. She's playing great. She is so important to the attack. She opens up all these spaces. I think she's fantastic. Christy Newis is not getting another call up. No, like I will be surprised if Christy plays again. I think Christy's done. We just have not seen her. So let's see. Oh, Maddie, thank you for the rose and the lightning. Murphy against Australia, probably not, but why not? Maddie, you got all sorts of fun gifts in here. I'm like corn, chili, a heart thing. Like, why not? Thank you. Kennedy Fuller, yeah, I think Kennedy Fuller plays well in the midfield, but again, that's a position where I think there's just a lot of depth already, so it's just going to be harder to break in. Claire Hedden call up, probably like some looks at some point, but like I said, y'all, it's just hard. That whole area of the pitch, there's a lot of options. If Davidson's out, who is next? I would call on Hal Hirschfeld of the alternates. I would pull in Hal. Just because if you're playing Sonnet in the back line, you need a little more depth in the defensive mid. So, and I'm not sure Emily Sams really helps you out with that. Let's see. Ella Stevens is playing well. Let's see. We need an extra defensive mid. Yes. You need to be developing Hal Hirschfeld. I was a little surprised Amy Sullivan didn't get brought as an alternate for this tournament. Sarah Gordon, I love Sarah Gordon. I absolutely love Sarah Gordon, but if we're going to be trying new center backs out for this program, they're not going to be, they're not going to be over 30. They're just not. So, as we look for new center backs, brand new ones, not in the short term for like this Olympics, but, after this Olympics, it's going to be eyes on 2027. So you got to keep in mind how old is everybody going to be for 2027. So you're not going to be developing somebody who's already over 30. You just aren't. Do I think the men win? I think the men are going to get a win. Let's get the men out of the group too. Why not? So, yeah, I think Ava Gattino is going to get another look. I think she regressed a little bit at PSG in the back half of the season. She's newer to playing center back. That happens sometimes. These are all like non-linear development things. As you learn one thing new and focus on the one new thing, something else about your positioning goes funky. And she's had that a little bit. Where just I think some of her 1v1 defending as she's learning or trying to learn more about positional stuff seems to have gone a little funky. But like the player profile that Tito has like is to be an all-timer center back. Like if she keeps going and just pushes through it, she can really be very, very good. And PSG gave her a new contract, so obviously they feel the same way. Thoughts on Zambia, Australia? What a time! If you did not watch Zambia, Australia, go back, watch it. It's just madness. It's great. Midge 2027 for sure, right? If she's healthy, I love Midge. So next gen of goalies. Well, I'm a little I don't know. It depends on how deep we skip down. Because I think I'm wondering if some of these people that are already in their mid to late 20s are going to get passed over. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, go back and see Japan's goal because Momoko Tanikawa. I'm just gonna keep saying it because I told y'all to keep a watch out for her. She was fantastic. Like that goal was great. She didn't play at all in Japan's match against Spain. That was a mistake. She should be starting and playing the whole time. So, all right, y'all. So we've done our 30 minutes. I am so tired. I have been on a plane every single day since Wednesday. I have not at any point gotten really more than like 6 hours of sleep in the night. So I'm going to go rest my voice. But I like adore hanging out with you all. This is such a fun community, both here with like still like almost 700 of you here on TikTok. And there were like quite a few more before. And again, my YouTube community, 41, love to see you. So yeah, if you haven't already followed, hit the follow button. I'm here live every U.S. Women's National Team match before, at halftime, and after. So you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on YouTube. And if you want to watch this back, it's all on YouTube for you to stream later. So I will see you all on a Wednesday. We are so back, baby. Let's fucking go. All right. Hit the button. Okay. And on YouTube, you get the other goodbye. So, all right, y'all. Catch you later.